Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight, taking time out of your schedules. And also thank you for trusting me as your coach to take you through this gut protocol. I just want you all to know, oh, weird. Jewel can't get her mic to work. We'll figure it out later. I just want you all to know that you're capable of hard things. This is going to be difficult and challenging. It's probably going to be different than things you've done before, but I just have to tell you, it has been life changing for me. And I don't say that lightly. I've been doing Beachbody since 2014. Okay. What is that? 8 years? Is that right? 8, somewhere in there. I've been doing it since 2014. So I've done all the programs. I've had 2 pregnancies and 2 kids, and I've done the Portion Fix, and I've done To Be Mindset, and I've done all the things, and they all work. Absolutely. I mean, I have like multiple transformations throughout my 8 years in here, but the gut protocol is the first time that I want to keep doing it. All the other times, like To Be Mindset or Portion Fix nutrition programs, I'm specifically talking about nutrition right now. When I get in those, I'm like, okay, I'll do it for 3 weeks. And I do it for 3 weeks and I have amazing results, but like, I don't feel any different when I do it. And so like, what's the motivation other than like losing 5 pounds, which is only motivating for so long, you know what I mean? But doing the gut protocol, I feel so good that I like don't want to stop. Like I feel so good. I've never had so much natural energy. It's just insane. Okay. But it's hard. And the first week is going to suck. You're going to have headaches. You're going to like have withdrawal symptoms. You're going to be moody. But you just really got to get through the first week. And then after you do that, you are going to be like flying high. I feel like days like 10 through 14 is where I like reached my peak. And then I just like floated through from there. So just know in week 1, you're going to be like, never mind. Why am I doing this? Like, I don't really care. Like you're going to have those thoughts. Me on day 4, morning day 4, I vividly remember I was like, I don't care. I'm 4 months postpartum. It's okay that I feel exhausted all the time. It's okay that I'm walking around. I've lost like 40 pounds. So I was like 40 pounds heavier. And this was in March, right? So I'm like, it's fine. Like no one cares. No one really cares. But then I had to like have that moment with myself. And I'm like, okay, but like, then why did you start if you didn't care? And I had to like bring myself back to that moment of like why I committed to this. So when maybe you need to write some notes on your mirror, maybe you need to like write out a little mission statement for yourself that you can read every morning. You need to do something to connect to your why of why you're doing this, because it's going to suck the first week and it's going to suck when you're feeling tempted. Okay. But like I said, in that 10 to 14 day range is where you stop looking at what you're losing and start looking at what you're gaining. And it becomes so much easier to push forward. Jewel, am I BSing or did you have this same experience? You can nod or say no. Same experience. Okay, cool. I'm like, I can say anything, right? I'm your coach. I can like just trick all of you guys and lie to you and tell you it's the best thing ever. So I just want to make sure that Jewel agreed with me because I'm not lying. I'm like, this is like real life here, you guys. Okay. So let's just kind of like go through just like what the program is so that we can make sure everybody's on the same page. I feel like everybody knows this, but this program is kind of complex. And like, even in week 1, you're going to have little slip ups. And like week 1 for me, I like ate red meat multiple times. And then I realized, oh, you're only supposed to have red meat once, like crap. Like I missed that the first week. So you're going to have things like that. So I feel like the more we're exposed and the more you hear these things, the better it's going to be for you. Okay. So program overview, raise of hands. Has anyone done the actual just like color coded Portion Fix or 21 Day Fix container system before? No. Sarah has. Jewel obviously has. And then I feel like Cassandra might have. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. So if you're not familiar, just pull a piece of hair out. If you're not familiar with the container system, essentially you're going to do an equation. It's going to give you a number, a calorie number of how many calories to eat a day. And then you're going to take that number, say it's like 2022, and you're going to go to like the sheet that says how many containers you eat each day. So then you're going to be in like plan C, and it's going to say you get 3 red A, 3 red B, 5 green. I'm totally making these up, so you have to actually look at the sheet. It's going to tell you how many of each color you get a day. So then you take your red container, and they look tiny. They do, but once you pour them onto your plate, it's so much food. Jewel, can we get a H? Yeah. I remember the first time I saw them, I was like, you're kidding me. I'm like, that really? But you pour them out and it's a lot of food. And even like the blue one looks so tiny. And I'm like, this is all the hummus I get. And I had like half a cucumber and like 10 baby carrots. And I only used half of the blue thing of hummus. So I was like, okay, this is way more than it looks like. It's deceiving. Anyways, so you take your, I gotta open my chat. You never use, yeah, the orange, it looks tiny. That's your dressing. She never uses all of her dressing. Yeah, it's like insane. Total mind game. Anyway, so you take your red container, you get 3 red A's a day. You look at your sheet and you scoop out your cooked chicken, you measure it. It's like a measuring cup. And then you pour it on your salad or whatever you may be eating. So like you guys may see my savory oats that I'm super obsessed with. It's 2 yellow A's. I'm in plan D, by the way, so I get a lot of food because I'm like 200 pounds and breastfeeding. So I get like a ton of food. Anyways, so I take, everybody asks this, so I'm going to pause real quick. Things that shrink, like vegetables and fruits, when you cook them, you measure before. Things that grow, like oats and rice and quinoa, you measure after. Okay. And an easy way for me to remember this is like if you took a yellow of dry oats and cooked them, you would end up like with 2.5 yellows of oats. So you measure like oats after because they grow. And then on the opposite side of that, let's think about spinach. If you measured spinach after you cooked it, you would eat like a whole bag of spinach for 1 green. So things that shrink, measure before. So your veggies you're measuring before. Things that grow, you measure after. Anyways, so cook my oats, scoop 2 yellows into my bowl, and then I take my green container and scoop my asparagus and mushrooms before I cook them into the pan, 3 of those, and I saute them. And then I take my turkey sausage, and it's just 4 turkey sausage links, breakfast turkey sausage links, and microwave them. And I stir it all together. And that's a red A, 2 yellow A's, and 3 greens, and a teaspoon that I use to saute the veggies. So that's how you use the containers. They're measuring cups. And then that's your meal. Okay. We'll talk more about that later. I recommend you printing off all of the food sheets. Mine looks super weird because like my printer was on the fritz, but I recommend you print them off and then highlight the foods that you like and the foods that you will eat, because it makes it so much less overwhelming. Like if you are trying to make your meal plan and you're looking at it without it being highlighted, it's like too much information. And like, for example, like yellow container A, I only like 2 things on there. So I'm only eating rice and oatmeal for my yellow A because like I'm not adventurous. Jewel is super adventurous. Like she's always posting the most adventurous, amazing food. She's incredible. But there's like amaranth, teff, millet, buckwheat. I'm like, what? So I just eat rice and oatmeal for my yellow A. So highlight your food sheets because it'll make them easier to navigate. Okay. So that's the basis of the container system. Tells you how many of each color you get a day. You're going to measure your foods and you have your food list that tell what container it is. Okay. Gut protocol. We are removing gluten, and really you shouldn't be eating a ton of packaged foods. So I would say read labels, but like, I hope that you're not eating anything packaged in this because unless it's like quinoa or rice, because there's really not like a need to. Removing gluten, dairy, corn, alcohol, artificial sweeteners and highly processed soy. And she talks about the highly processed soy in the video, so I'm not going to go into that. And you want to replace with natural, organic, whole foods. And you want to get 30 plants a week. So on one of the program materials, one of the trackers, it has this sheet on it. And so I just did this once a week as I'm making my meal plan. I like write what vegetables I have, or sorry, plants I have in my meal plan. And again, it seems so overwhelming. I'm like, 30 plants? That's impossible. But then once you realize like a quinoa is a plant, oatmeal is a plant, like cilantro is a plant. Like I use like pico de gallo. So that's like tomatoes, onions, jalapenos, cilantro, garlic, like that's like 5 plants in pico de gallo, right? Chia seeds, flax seeds, those are plants. And then if you're using like a few different kind of peppers, like red peppers and green peppers, that's 2 different plants. But the variety is really what you want to go for. And you're going to meet this easier than you think. Even like avocado, like for your blue container, that's a plant. So I only fill this out once a week, but they have this where you like fill it out daily, which I didn't really understand personally. I just printed it out once and did it weekly like that. And organic, you guys, please, if you're eating oats, they have to be organic. Oats are like the highest thing that has glyphosate, and I never know if I'm saying that correctly, Roundup that they spray on crops. Oats are like the highest for having Roundup still on it when we consume it, which is terrible for your body. So if you are, and just like side note, if you're ever eating anything with oats in the future or giving anything with oats to your kids, please make sure it's organic. It's really bad for us to not eat organic oats. Okay. Let me step off my pedestal. I'm very passionate about that. And then we're adding in fermented foods 3 times a week. So a lot of people are like, I don't like sauerkraut. I feel like most of the time, like growing up, we had like the Clausen sauerkraut. Not great. Wild brine, organic sauerkraut is delicious. It's so good. This is like my 5th or 6th gut group I'm running. And every single time someone messages me and says, I hate sauerkraut, but I tried that wild brine and it is so good. So you might become a convert. Ways to use sauerkraut. It's really good with eggs, like over easy eggs. I like stirring it all up. It's really good on top of a salad. You can get those paleo chicken sausages from Costco. Sabatini is the brand. I'm sure there's like other stores that carry it. And do like Dijon mustard, paleo chicken sausage, and sauerkraut all mixed up. And it's like a hot dog with sauerkraut on it. And then you can also get paleo ketchup if you love ketchup from Primal Kitchen. And if you're using any pre-made salad dressings, Paleo Primal Kitchen is approved. Or you can make your own, but if you're Jewel, you might be making your own. If you're me, easy. I'm easy. I'm so simple. I like look at Jewel's Instagram stories. I'm like, how does she make all this creative stuff? She's amazing. Okay, so add in fermented foods 3 times a week, and like kombucha also counts. And you want to get a kombucha that is 0 grams of added sugar. And HUM kombucha is 0 grams of added sugar, and it's delicious. I love the mango passion fruit. It's like my favorite, which I also get at Costco. I don't know if you guys have Costco and if you can get it there. But make sure if you are drinking kombucha, it is on the yellow B list. 6 ounces equals a half a B. All these small things to remember. And then also on the free list is where they have the full list of the fermented foods: sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, beet, kvass. I don't know how to say it. Those are the fermented foods. I personally just do sauerkraut and kombucha. Oh, and there's also a recipe for fixate fermented blueberries that you could make, and I haven't done that. Okay, let's see here. So you use the food lists and your container count to make a meal plan for yourself. I will be sharing a few sample meal plans in the files in our BOD group. I will also be showing my plan. And at the end of this call, I'll just give you guys a peek in my brain of how I do my plan. Has anyone read Autumn's, in the program materials on under Gut Protocol, has anyone read Autumn's little like meal planning thing? I know Jewel, yeah, you guys all have. So you read in there, Autumn does it differently. She just like buys healthy groceries and then like that day decides what she's going to eat. That blows my mind. Like that would not work for me. But if you're someone that would work for, you can do that. But personally, what happens to me if I don't have things planned out, I literally have it like printed on my refrigerator so I can like grab and go and everything's prepped. Because if I don't, then I don't eat because I'm busy. Like I have 2 kids running around. I'm running a business from my home. Like I won't eat. And then it's like 6 p.m. and I'm starving. And then I order a pizza and have some ice cream. Like I have to be planned and prepped for me to be successful. So think about your lifestyle and if you need to be like super on top of it. And if so, then I really recommend you plan and prep. For me, I spend 3 to 6 hours on the weekend when I have help with the kids, planning my next week, and shopping. Grocery pickup is going to save you a ton of time because like when you're like going through the store and you've never bought organic sauerkraut before and you don't know where to look for it. Whereas you can just like go on your Fred Meyer app or Safeway app or whatever and like type in organic sauerkraut, add to cart, and then they like put it in your trunk. You know what I mean? So doing a grocery pickup order is going to be so helpful. I'm all over the place in the best way, I hope. Anyways, so I spend 3 to 6 hours planning, grocery shopping, and prepping each weekend. And then during the week, I spend virtually no time because everything's ready and I just have to heat it up. So you can do it Autumn's way or you can do it my way. My personal favorite quote is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Keep that in mind. I'm so lame. Okay. You can use recipes from the Gut Protocol. I'm going to share my screen real quick because they're in different places. And so I want to make sure everyone knows where they are. I don't know why they have them all over the place, but they do. In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental man or woman to put me up. Okay. What button am I supposed to push? There we go. Don't want to actually accidentally share some nudes or something with you guys. Jeez. Oh, I'm so weird. Okay. Let's go to programs. Four-week Gut Protocol. And hopefully if some of you are new to Beachbody, you have been like scoping out all the amazing things available to you for afterwards. Okay, so they have some recipes under recipe videos. And then if you, like, I'm not a video person, so I don't like to watch the video. You can push these 3 dots and just like get the PDF of any recipe. So I'm a PDF person, so that's what I prefer to do. And then they also have some, so you can make any of these. They also have more under meal plans and recipes. And then you have to click the plus. Like these ones are so hidden as far as I'm concerned. So then there's all these recipes as well. I'll be honest with you. I, again, am so simple. I don't make recipes. So all I've made from these is the gluten-free fresh bread, the fish sticks, because we went to the Oregon coast and I caught dinner and we made fish sticks and it was so good. And then, ooh, cloud bread, that sounds good. And then I've also made the Gut Check Energy Bites. Oh, right here. Gut Check Energy Bites. So there's a ton of fun ones on there, but I just, and ooh, I've heard this is good. This chicken a la king with cauliflower cream sauce. I'm just too simple. I just throw food in a bowl. I call it a bowl of SHIT, BOS. Throw a bunch of stuff together and eat it. Call it good. Okay. So make sure you know where all those recipes are. Okay, this is important. 10 grams of added sugar a day. So sugar is not good for the gut, as you could probably imagine. If you're using these supplements, Shakeology has 5 grams of added sugar, and Energize has 2 grams of added sugar. Being 200 pounds, I take, or I almost said 4 scoops of Energize. That's a lie. Wow! I take 2 scoops of Energize, which is 4 grams of added sugar. And my Shakeology, so that's 9 grams of added sugar. So that's what I have for my 10 grams of added sugar each day. And I'm not eating anything packaged. So like, where else would I be getting added sugar? But when I do have the Gut Check Energy Bites, I don't have as much Energize that day because that's 2 grams of added sugar in those. And so then I only have 1 scoop Energize on those days. I do want to like pause and side note, because if you like watch my Instagram stories, you're going to be seeing me have some not approved things right now. I'm doing Lift More, and it's like a lifting program. And so I'm having Recover along with my Energize and my Shakeology. And so I'm going over on the added sugar because I want to have Recover because I'm trying to get swole. You know what I mean? So just ignore me and don't think that gives you permission to do it, because I want everybody to actually like do it 100% and like get the benefits. And, you know, I'm at the point where I did it for like 10 weeks. So I'm kind of like experimenting and doing my own thing. So if you see me doing something that's not approved, I know, do as I say, not as I do. For now, you can graduate later. Okay. You got to put in the work first. Cassandra, yes, I love the gluten-free bread. It's funny because there's a little bit of a problem that we've ran into that I didn't realize. If you look at the yellow B list, it says, so another packaged thing you might be eating is pasta, because you can have gluten-free pasta. But it says on here, make sure that you choose a gluten-free item like gluten-free pasta that does not have tapioca starch or potato starch, because tapioca starch and potato starch process in the body similar to table sugar. So like that's not doing us any favors for the gut. That being said, I got like approved pasta and everything, but then I was like eating the gluten-free fresh bread. And then someone in my last group was like, oh, what kind of flour did you find that doesn't have tapioca starch or potato starch? And I was like, you know what? I didn't even look at the ingredients on my gluten-free flour. Sure enough, I was using Pamela's gluten-free flour blend, and it has tapioca starch and potato starch. So I messed up. So like I said, we're gonna fail. There are some brands that if you just like, I have some screenshots of them. I can't think of like the names of them right now, but if you guys remind me later, there are some flour brands that I found that don't have tapioca starch or potato starch. But to answer your question, yes, love the gluten-free fresh bread. At the end there, I was making it every week. It tastes so good as avocado toast. So good. Toast it, ghee, avocado, and then the everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's, bomb. Maybe you want to throw some smoked salmon on there to elevate it. Maybe you want to throw an egg on there to elevate it. Maybe you want to throw some sprouts on there. Get creative. Turkey bacon, who knows? So many possibilities. Can you guys imagine being this weird, like, and just like being this weird and just like, you're just like this? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun over here in my head. Oh, okay. Coffee, only 3 times a week. So I'll tell you something. You can only have 1 drop of stevia in your coffee. And if you're anything like me, you don't really want coffee anymore if you can't put your sugary coffee creamer in it. So you'll have to experiment yourself with that. I remember the first day I was like, oh, I get coffee today because you're going to be working out Monday and Tuesday, rest day Wednesday. So on my first rest day, when I wasn't drinking Energize, I was like, I'm going to have a cup of coffee. I put my 1 drop of stevia in there and I said, I'm not having a cup of coffee. I'll have some Energize. It's disgusting. Okay. So if you are good with black coffee with 1 drop of stevia, go for it. I'm not, but you can only have it 3 times a week. It's acidic. And if you're like really bumming and you want some coffee, you can get actually dandelion root tea. That's like made to like taste like coffee. It doesn't taste exactly like coffee, but it's like a nice little like trick for the brain that you're like getting coffee. So that's dandelion root tea. I order mine from Amazon. It's like Teeccino, Teeccino, and it's organic dandelion root tea coffee, but it's not coffee. So yeah, stevia, 1 drop or half a pack a day, 200 milligrams a day of caffeine. So again, if you're drinking Energize, 1 scoop has 100 milligrams of caffeine. So you can't have Energize and coffee on the same day if you're taking 2 scoops of Energize. Because I think like coffee is like 100 milligrams, 150 milligrams. I don't know. I wouldn't do Energize and coffee on the same day. So drink coffee on the days you're not working out if you have to have coffee. You can have hot tea 1 to 2 times a day, decaf, unless you have some caffeine left and you're not over that 200 milligrams of caffeine. The only things that you should be drinking that have caffeine in them is tea, coffee, and Energize. Like you shouldn't be actually like having like soda or anything. So I don't know where else you would be getting caffeine. Just saw a baby behind Caitlin and I'm always like, oh, get so distracted. And then half of your body weight in ounces of water. So I'm 200 pounds. So I drink 100 ounces of water a day. So do the math for yourself on that. And we're working out 4 times a week. 4 weeks for everybody. Has everyone found that in the on Beachbody On Demand? Just go to programs. It's 4 weeks for everybody. It's so great, you guys. It's super effective. I remember when I first started, I was sore in my core in places. And if you're postpartum, I know a few of us are, that core ball holding it between your knees really helps the pelvic floor, which I found was super helpful. Okay, that's kind of all like the housekeeping stuff. So from here, I just was gonna like show or share my screen and show some more stuff to make sure everybody's on the same page and knows where everything is. Does anyone have any questions so far? Can you have matcha? Oh my gosh, I'm so professional. Matcha tea every day. Yes, I believe so. Because it says you can have 1 to 2 cups of tea a day. I don't know what the I've never had it. I know Autumn drinks it. I don't know what the caffeine amount is on it. So as long as you're not going over 200 milligrams a day, that's fine. And then whatever you're mixing with your matcha tea, like I don't know. There we go. Caitlin said you could have it every day, but you just need to be accounting for what you're mixing in it. So like if you're using like oat milk or whatever, and I know like she uses the Oatly brand oat milk, but it just like kills me because it's not organic. I'm really adamant. There's a Better Body Foods is the brand. I get it at Safeway. It's and there's a barista oat milk. Better Body Foods. I'll take a picture of it. I think it's called Oatsome and it's organic. So if you are wanting to use like that for your matcha teas. Yeah. And so then again, if you're adding honey to it, you need to be counting that in your 10 grams of sugar as well. So like at first, and then the first few days, you guys, I would like make Taylor's mac and cheese and just out of habit, like go to take a bite. You're going to find yourself like, you don't realize how often you do mindless stuff like that. And I'm like, no, like spit it out, like no dairy. Like when I go in on this stuff, I go all in and I want you guys to do the same. Like I'm usually like a pretty chill coach, like, no, it's fine. Like give yourself grace. And yeah, like I do feel that way. But if we're committing to a gut protocol, like you have to be doing the work to get the results. Like this isn't just like, if you wanted just to, does the oat milk need to be gluten-free? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they all are, Cassandra. So yes, it does need to be gluten-free. Everything needs to be gluten-free. But I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm like, I need to read the chats out loud because people watch the recording are going to be confused. Cassandra asked, does the oat milk need to be gluten-free? Yes. But I'm pretty sure they all are. But yes, everything you eat needs to be gluten-free. And then Jewel said, I've recently been really freaked out by milk alternatives because they all have added gums, but I found one brand, which is Elmhurst, that is only hazelnuts and water. I'm going to have to look into that, Jewel, because I am in the same boat as you. Not only do a lot of these, let me get back up on my soapbox. Not only do a lot of these like milk alternatives have gums in them, but they also have highly inflammatory oils, like sunflower oil. And I'm like, why are we like recommending that people can have this on Gut Protocol when it's like has these oils in it? So like, don't drink Oatly, the Autumn drinks. The Oatsome brand doesn't have any gums in it, but it does have sunflower oil in it. But I only used it 3 times a week, like a dash in my coffee. Oh, I forgot to finish that story about the coffee. By the end of the Gut Protocol, things were so much sweeter that like, then I was fine with a drop of stevia at the end of the 4 weeks. But at the beginning, it was like not good. But yeah, watch out for sunflower oil and gums like Carrageenan, guar gum. There's a few other I can't even think of right now. But if you're just starting, Jewel and I may be a little soapboxy. So don't like be too concerned with this, but definitely information to put into your back pocket on stuff to avoid. Okay. But what I was saying is I'm usually a pretty chill coach, like give yourself grace, like it's fine, like you do you. But like if you're doing the Gut Protocol, it's because you want to heal your gut. And if you're like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, oh, wishy-washy with it, like, oh, I can cheat today. Like, then you're just like having to start over. So don't cheat. Make up your mind right now that you're going to do this for 4 weeks. Be like Danny. I need to make wristbands. What would Danny do? Like I literally, if my husband's cooking, I'm like, how many teaspoons of cooking oil did you put in that pan? Like I'm a freak. And he's like, oh my God. But then he's like, wow, babe, you're doing great. You're really making progress. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I made sure you didn't put too much cooking oil in the pan. Like be crazy about it. I don't usually say that to people, but I want you to be crazy about it for Gut Protocol. Because if you want to feel good and have that natural energy, and at the beginning of the call, I told you how much this changed my life. It's because I went in 100%. So before you start, you need to make that decision that you are not going to fall off, that you are going to see the 4 weeks through, that you are going to lean on each other for support. And when you are having a weak moment, come to me. We do have the BOD group. For some reason, no one ever freaking goes in the BOD group and does anything, and it's super irritating. So I started to also do a text message pod, and that's really where things are hopping. So everybody pull out your phone right now if you want to be in the text message pod, or write this number down. I'm gonna give you my phone number, and I want you to text me with your name so I know who it is, and say, I mean, you don't need to say anything, but say, I want to be in the text message pod. Okay. And I hope you all have an iPhone, because if you have a Samsung, it really kills the vibe in the text message group. Oh, Caitlin. Okay. So homework for Caitlin, go get an iPhone. I'm just kidding. What I might do is to do 2 different groups, like people who have like an Android and people who have an iPhone, because like on iPhone, you can like do like reactions and like reply. So like someone says something and you can reply specifically to that. But like if there's one Samsung user, Caitlin, then you can't do those cool things. We'll figure it out. But anyways, text me. Here's my number. 360-775-1735. And I really find the text message pod is where like, I mean, it's so much quicker even for me, like, because I always have like 100 notifications on BOD groups. So if someone's like, oh, Sarah already texted me, so efficient. If someone's like, I need help right this minute, like I'm not going to see it on the BOD groups, but if you need help right this minute and you put it in that text message pod, you're going to have the whole group like cheering you on, being like, Caitlin, put down the jar of honey. We got you, girl. I don't know why I chose you, Caitlin, but eyes are on you now that I know you're an Android user. Just kidding. God, see, this is okay. Side note, everyone's like, I can never be like a Beachbody coach or whatever, like, and be like a salesperson or whatever. I can never sell makeup online because we do it all the time. I'm like sitting here selling iPhones to everybody. You know what I mean? But like when you find products that you love and that like work for you and you like share that with people, might as well get paid to do it, right? Am I right? Can I get a hoorah? Okay, I'm being weird again. Okay, let's get back to things. Joel's just like, oh God, here she goes. Okay, so this isn't gonna work if you half sit. I don't know if there's kids listening. So use your full, okay? So we're doing here. I believe in you guys. And now I'm gonna share my screen. I feel like we should just like all like maybe get a knife and like cut our hands and do like a, yeah, like a blood oath. Too much? Okay. Sorry, you guys, I'm so awkward. You should see me ordering coffee at Starbucks. I'm always at like very like, I tell them my whole life story and I like can't stop being awkward. They do call me Awkward Danny for a reason. Okay, let me share my screen. Stop. I'm gonna share my phone screen and show you guys how it's gonna work to track your stuff on the BOD app. God, I just love it. I'm the one with the Android, Caitlin puts in her text. Oh, I won't forget. Oh. Okay. First things first, let me show you. Go away. Go away. I want to show everyone look at my baby. He's so cute and chunky. Look at his boobs. Like, oh my God. His boobs look just like mine. Adorable. He's 30 pounds, 8 months old. Okay, I'll stop. But he's so cute. Okay. So you go to your BOD app, 466 notifications, NBD. And then after you do your workout, this is going to pop up when you open your thing. And my husband also uses my BOD account, which is why it says 17. And I haven't had a group going, so I haven't been logging my workouts. Anyways, so then you would just hit, let's do it. And you can only log your workout that day to share it to the groups. So you can see the older workouts out here, it just says log, but the ones that my husband did and I did today says share to groups. So you would click share to groups and then like add your photo. I hope I don't have a nude in here. Nope. Yeah, well, kind of nudes, breastfeeding photos. It's fine. I was trying to get his chubby belly. I don't care if you guys see my boobs. Okay, here's my tricep photo from today after my workout. And then triceps are toast because again, I'm doing a different workout program than you guys are. I'm doing Lift More. And then the guts and butts group where it says Joel's exclusive Lift More group, it'll say butts and guts. And so you want it to be blue like that. And then you would click share and then it'll share directly to the group. And so it makes it super easy that it like prompts you to do that. A few other things. When you go, tracking later. You can come on here and do your tracking for your containers. The only problem is that they don't have it set to have like a red A and a red B and a yellow A and a yellow B, but everything else should be the same. So if you want to use this tracking, you can, and you would just like click on meal one and do whatever you had. But you would have to keep track mentally or on a different piece of paper for red A and red B and yellow A and yellow B. I personally don't use this because I just plan ahead. I'll show you what that means in a second. But yeah, you can track results in here, water, your nutritionals, workouts, and Shakeology. And then in the group, I would love if you guys could come on and like cheer each other on, like maybe make it a point to check in once a day, post your accountability and comment on 2 people and like cheer them on so we can like have that community feel. And then also please like acknowledge that I made a post each day. This is what I mean about like the BOD groups. Like for some reason people like don't really participate. So I want you guys to participate in here so we can like have a lot of fun. But if you don't, we also have the text group. So I just want to make sure it's covered either way. Okay. So that's that. And then I think you guys already all know how to find everything, but if not, you just go to programs. And then there's the 4-week gut protocol, and then new and featured has the 4 weeks for everybody. If you haven't already, make sure you go to program materials and print off your workout calendar. And then there's some trackers, which I didn't use, but you can if you want. And then the 4-week gut protocol. By now, you should have watched this Foundation of a Healthy Gut video. And then you can watch Autumn's Gut Health Journey if you want. You should have read the program guide. And then there's different tabs on here. Under lessons, you should have watched these 4 videos. And then the week 1 video. The really main thing in the week 1 video is that you should be cooking all of your veggies, especially if you're someone who is not eating a lot of vegetables before, because it'll be harder on your body to process vegetables if you're adding a bunch in. So if they're cooked, it kind of like starts to break them down already. And then bonus materials, container basics, and then there's a matcha latte recipe. Oh, I guess she uses the Khalifa. I thought it was Oatly. It's funny that I know my like milk so much, I can like tell what that is. Recipe videos, I already showed you guys that. Meal plans and recipes, make sure you read Autumn's 4-week gut protocol meal planning toolkit. She explains how she does things. And then she also gives you, for whatever bracket you're in, she gives you a 3-day meal plan sample for each bracket. And then, oh yeah, and then this is something cool. So these are some approved recipes from Fixate. Fixate has hundreds upon hundreds of recipes that fit with the containers, but the only problem is that some of them are not gluten-free, some of them aren't dairy-free. So these are a small list of recipes you can do. So if you see something on here, you're like, oh, spring breakfast bowl, that looks good. This app is so great. You just go home, and then where at the top where it says search, you can literally just search for the spring breakfast bowl instead of like trying to go through all the recipes. And then find a recipe that way. And then ta-da! And then you can watch the video or get the PDF. You just need to be, oh, I just realized the, like what you guys are seeing is way behind what I'm seeing. So like, I wonder if my talking was not matching up with that. Sorry, I'll start watching the computer screen instead of my phone screen. Anyways, so there's the PDF for the spring breakfast bowl. Just be sure that you are counting the containers how it shows on this. So the spring breakfast bowl has its own container. You can see it breaks it down by the red A and the yellow A, which might be different than what the actual recipe says. Okay, and then resources. This is where you're going to find your calculation on where you are going to be. So say your number was 1784. You're going to go into here and find 1784 would fall into plan B. And so then you would see you get 6 green, 2 purple, 2 red A, 2 red B, 2 yellow A, 1 yellow B, 1 blue, 1 orange, 4 teaspoons. And then you would make your meal plan accordingly. If you are breastfeeding, you have 2 options. You can bump up a plan. So if you're in plan B, you can bump up to plan C, or, and I would only recommend doing that if you have a good milk supply. If you are worried about your milk supply or anything, you go to programs, and I'll link this in our group too. And then go to Portion Fix, the original. And this one actually has a breastfeeding calculation. Program materials, custom fix. And then you scroll down to breastfeeding calculations. And then it has if you're looking to lose weight, maintain weight. And this is not working out. So you want to go to, oh wait. okay, lose weight, and then it says not working out, moderately challenging, and extremely challenging, you would do the moderately challenging one. So you would do the middle one. So times 11 plus 400. And then whatever number you got here, you would take back to the gut protocol container brackets. Does that make sense? And I know some of you aren't breastfeeding, but I do have some breastfeeding mamas. So I want to make sure everyone knows where that is. And this portion fix is one that you will probably, like, if you want to like stay with things but not be as strict, the portion fix is going to be like what you might graduate to after the gut protocol, because it's very similar. It just is not as strict and doesn't have as many rules. Okay, I feel like my screen froze on there, but I'm pretty sure that was all I was gonna show on my phone. Okay. Let's see. Already talked about that. So I talked about detox symptoms. First week's gonna suck. Remember your why. You're gonna want to quit more than one time. Another quote I have on here is, successful people aren't lucky, they are committed. So like I've had like a really great transformation and really great results from the gut protocol, and people are like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. Like, you can, you just have to do the work, and it is work. Like, good things in life don't come super easy. So just like be ready to put in the work. Week 1 is going to be super hard. Week 2, still to this day, I like sit down on like Friday or Saturday to do my meal plan, and I like hate it. It's the worst part, but it's only an hour. It's only an hour of my entire week. It's 1 hour. What's 24 times 7? It's 1 hour of that. It's like, you can do it, Danny. Like, quit being, I can't think of a word. A nincompoop. I don't know. Quit being a nincompoop, Danny. It's 1 hour, but I still hate it. Okay. Speaking of that, I will show you how I do my meal plan. Any questions with the app? Anything like that? Any questions? Oh, what does the spoon icon mean? The spoon icon is teaspoon. So that's going to be there's a teaspoon list, and it's going to be essentially like nut butters and like cooking oils. Also, just side note, if you're cooking, I would recommend you use avocado oil. Olive oil is not really meant to be cooked with. It can turn into a carcinogen. So just, I'm just like ruining everybody's lives, one healthy fact at a time. Jewel and I are on a mission to ruin your life. Just kidding. Teaspoon list. This is what the spoon icon is for your teaspoon list. Nut butters, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, ghee, and then I have unsweetened coconut milk beverage highlighted on there. I really need to look up this. Jewel, you need to text me the name of that hazelnut, whatever it was, Herm Farm Purse, whatever that thing was. Okay. What's next? I was going to show you guys how I do. Oh, Shakeology. Drink your Shakeology daily. That's going to count as a Red Bee container, because again, the only things I have on my Red Bee is Shakeology and quinoa. Like, there's nothing else. Oh, there's like beans and stuff, but I personally don't do good with beans. So like, I hate when my baby cries and I'm like trying to work. It's super distracting. It's fine. He's fine. So drink your Shakeology daily. It also helps with gut biodiversity, because it has pre and probiotics, digestive enzymes. It helps with your cravings. I personally, thank you, Jewel, for texting me. I personally use mine as a snack before bed. At the beginning of my journey, I used to drink it as breakfast. Personally, I freeze bananas, peel them before you freeze them. One of my girls in the very first round of Gut Protocol sent me a picture. She's like, how do you peel the bananas once they're frozen? She had frozen the bananas with the skin still on. So funny. So peel your bananas first. Anyways, I do half a banana, which is a purple, spinach, and I also freeze my spinach because then it doesn't go bad as fast. And then water and lots of ice and just a little bit of water. And then my scuba Shakeology, and it makes it like thicker. And I like mine thick. I personally don't like to use any milks in mine. It makes it kind of like jelly-ish consistency, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you can like play around with your shake recipe to find what you love. Also, if you have never used Shakeology before, and just going into the gut protocol in general, you guys are going to have bloating in the first few weeks from the up and pre and probiotics and the digestive enzymes and all the vegetables and all the extra fiber. So the first 2 weeks, like, do not judge any of your progress. Maybe even the first 3 weeks, like your body's going to be doing crazy things. The scale might go up at first. Like, don't panic. Just know if you are following the protocol and doing everything, like, it will all be okay. Like, people freak out when the scale goes up. Like, this isn't working for me. Like, you have no idea if it's working for you. Like, I started lifting this week and I've gained 5 pounds, but like, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, my muscles are like inflamed and like I'm holding onto water. Like, I don't think I gained 5 pounds. I better stop working out. I better eat some Cheetos because this isn't working. Like, I feel like it's what people do. So if the scale goes up, just know, like, that's fine. And if you look super bloated, that's fine. Your body will adjust and become accustomed to it. Okay. Okay. The last thing I have is to show you guys how I do my meal planning. So if you need to pop out, you can. This will be recorded. This is kind of like boring, but also the most important part. And it's just like a peek inside of my brain and how I do things. Oh, I guess there's one more thing on my list: managing your Shakeology order. So with your total solution pack, the Shakeology is automatically on home direct. So if you want to change your flavor, if you want to change the ship date, if you need to skip a month, if you need to cancel, all you do is go to teambeachbody.com, log in the upper right hand corner, and go to my memberships and subscriptions. And then you can like click a button or click on the Shakeology and then click cancel. Super easy to do, all online. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody is aware of that, so no one's like freaking out. And if you love your Shakeology and you want to like get a discount on it, let me know and we can get you signed up for the preferred customer to get 25% off. And if you love Energize like I do, you will save money that way. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys how I do my meal plan. Very thirsty. Also, if you don't have Google Drive, that's how I share my meal plan with you guys each week, so that you can save a copy and edit it for yourself. So I will show you how to do that if you are not familiar with Google Drive. Okay. And thanks again, you guys, for being on here. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your evenings. I know we're all busy. We have families. It means a lot that you guys are on here and that I'm able to serve you and help you in the best way that I can. Okay, here's the one I just did. So I'm just going to make a copy of this so I don't mess it up. Make a copy. Okay, so I open a document and I put what I get for my plan at the top. And then I start, I'm going to delete, I'll just like delete a day so I can show you my brain. I always keep my Shakeology on here because I know that that's consistent every single day. So that from week to week that comes along. And I personally cut out eggs. It was something I discovered in my first few weeks of doing the gut protocol. Is like whenever I had eggs, my body like did not like it. So pay attention to yourself. That's part of this journey, is finding out like kind of like what your body's not loving. But anyways, so I am super simple, like I mentioned before. So when I do this, I just kind of think like, okay, what do I want to eat? And I'm like, well, I like eggs. So I'm not eating eggs personally. I'm just using this as an example. I'm like, I like eggs and I like avocado toast. And of course I'll be looking at my like, oh my gosh, it is bedtime. I'll be looking at my food list. Thank you, brain, for waking up. And I'm going to put ghee on my avocado toast. And so then I'll look at my list. I know that's a red A, a blue for the avocado, a yellow B for the toast, and a teaspoon for the ghee. Oh, and then I'm also gonna have some cantaloupe, which is a purple. So then I do it like color coded. And then I know for lunch that I'm going to make up a batch of sauteed onions and peppers and carne asada. I'm gonna cook up a whole thing of, oh no, that's red meat. And I'm gonna cook up a whole thing of chicken. And I'm going to put it on a bed of romaine with some black beans, because now it's a taco salad. Apparently I like taco salad. And I am going to use Primal Kitchen ranch. That sounds awful. Whatever salad you like. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Okay. That's not what I like, you guys. I'll tell you what I like. I like to do spring mix. I was like, I'm going to be really creative right now. And that did not sound great. Maybe if I had a blue container, but I already used blue for breakfast for the avocado. Okay. I love to do, this is a real salad that I love to do. Spring mix. And then the cooked beets, the love beets I get at Costco, beets. And then I use lunch meat. Super easy. Turkey deli meat, cucumbers, sprouts. Have you guys seen this on my Instagram? Like when I was like first doing it, I need to make a highlight of all my old recipes. Is that everything that I put on there? And then, oh, with sweet potatoes, that's right. Sweet potato cubes. So I baked up a bunch of sweet potato cubes. Potato. And then all I did is use avocado oil, and red wine vinegar is like one of my favorite things now. Avocado oil and red wine vinegar for the dressing. And so that's going to be 1 green of spring mix, and then 1 green of beets and cucumbers and some sprouts. That's probably going to be around 3 greens once I measure it all out. And that's going to be a red A, and it's going to be a yellow B, and it's going to be a teaspoon. And then I know I need to get some yellow A's in there. So I'm going to do some oats with apple and flaxseed. And that's going to be yellow A's and a purple and orange. And I'll probably put some nut butter on there because that sounds good. Okay. So then I like go through here and then I go, okay, I need 3 red A's. So then I count my red A's, 1, 2, and then I put what I have left for my dinner. And then 3 red B's. I only have 1 red B, so I need 2 red B's. And then 8 greens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 4 greens, 3 purples, 1, 2, 3. Those are taken care of. 2 yellow A's. Oh, I'm going to make a bigger batch of oatmeal to get in my 2 yellow A's, 2 yellow B's, 1, 2, 1 blue, 1 blue, 1 orange, 1 orange, 6 teaspoons, 1, 2, 3. Let's put more nut butter on here. So that's 4. And then we'll use 2 for dinner, 2 teaspoons, 5, 6. And then fermented and free, you want 3 times a week. Oh yeah, I actually do love to put sauerkraut on this salad. Why is he crying so much? Free. Okay. So then I'm going to make a dinner that fits within these guidelines. Oops. I don't know why that happened. But also I'm like, I don't want to eat 4 greens at dinner time. So I'm going to add in some spinach when I'm making, I'll make a scrambled egg and like throw in some spinach with it. So then we can get this down to 3, and that's more doable for a meal for me. So essentially what I'm showing you guys is I just like think of like, what do I want to eat this week? And then I do all but 1 meal and then I see what I have left, and then I create a meal on what I have left. And then, as you can see, looking at the rest of this week, like ignore Monday now because like I messed that up, but you can see that I like repeat every other day. So then I'm not doing too much work. And then for dinner, I always make extra. So like Tuesday, then like Wednesday for lunch, like this is what I'm eating this week. I had my leftovers from last night to make it super easy. So then like, here's my dinner Wednesday, then Thursday lunch is my leftovers. And I actually got Green Chef this week. I love to do meal delivery service. And if you, if you look at, like, if you do one of those, you can always look at the like PDF and it shows you the ingredients to make sure there's like no milk or anything, no gluten, make sure to get pretty much if anything says paleo on it, it's gluten-free and dairy-free automatically. Okay. So paleo is good. The only thing you need to be mindful of is if you look at like the like nutritional breakdown on the like Green Chef or whatever, it'll tell you if it has added sugar. So sometimes they have like a barbecue sauce or something that has like 7 grams of added sugar. So like obviously you wouldn't be able to do that. So then on Sundays, you're probably going to have leftovers that you didn't get to eat of everything. So I always just have like random stuff on Sunday to eat the rest of the food in my fridge and to like fill the containers. So that's how I work. Figure out 2 days. So you're going to figure out your Monday and your Tuesday, and then you're going to like repeat every other day. I mean, you don't have to, it's just how I do it. And then you're going to come up with a few different dinners that then you're going to eat leftovers, make extra and eat the leftovers the next day for lunch. That's what works for me. And then I like meal prep all my food. I chop all my vegetables. I cook all my oatmeal. I cook all my sweet potato cubes. I cook, I wash my fruit. I wash my veggies and chop them. I already said that. Quinoa, I make quinoa, I make rice. I make my smoked salmon bowls. I shred all the cucumbers for that. I make pickled onions. I make pickled carrots. I buy things that are super easy. So like the paleo chicken sausage or the frozen vegetable mixes. So that I could just like heat them up and throw them together. Primal Kitchen Paleo Ranch I love for dressing. Yes. Yep. The red onions I count as a fermented food, and yes, I can send the recipe. You said it is red bee. How many cups does it count for, or how do you count that? What was that for, the quinoa or the Shakeology? Yeah, it's just, it counts as 1 red bee. So you don't actually have to use the container on that one. Cool. So that's the gut protocol. I really made pretty good time, 7:07, pretty impressed with that. Any other questions? Are you feeling like super overwhelmed? Or are you feeling like excited and overwhelmed? Both, good. Yeah, it is overwhelming, but if you're prepared, it's going to make your life so much easier. So I really recommend that everybody is just like uber prepared. Okay. I will get a text pod going. I will also put some trackers and some more meal plan examples in the files in the bod group, probably tomorrow morning. Cause I have to go do bedtime with the baby now. He needs the boobies. That's probably why he's crying. Not overwhelmed, but excited. Yay, Cassandra. Cool. All right, you guys, thank you so much for spending your night with me. And I'm really excited, and get ready to change your life and make the decision now that you're going to commit 100%. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.